What's up, you guys? It's Sifu Amin Johnny here, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys about feeling the Dantian. Now first, before I get started, I really recommend that you find somebody local to you guys who's experienced with it and can actually observe you while you're practicing it instead of experimenting with yourself. But because that's not always possible and there's a lot of information out there, I just want to make sure you guys are practicing the right thing and not hurting yourself and not wasting your time. Okay? So before I get started, let me just tell you some of the drawbacks of trying to cultivate your center. Okay? One of them, most people are doing it wrong and they can hurt themselves. They can hurt themselves because they're doing it wrong. What they're doing, they could be actually hurting their nervous system in that lower region of their body, and they can actually mess up the nerves there with that. Also, it could be sending up a lot of energy to other parts, like particularly the head, and it's just not a good effect. It's dangerous. You know, most common thing that you want to avoid with doing the Dantian stuff is, you know, forcing and all that kind of stuff. So, with all those aside, saying that it's dangerous if you practice it incorrectly, and you know the risk of doing that. What you want to do is practice it correctly. Now, the benefits of practicing it is that you'll have a lot more vitality, a lot more energy and strength, and a reservoir of energy you can tap into. And it's particularly good for things like martial arts, you know, so you don't get hurt as hard, you have a harder body, you not get sick outside, be more resilient to disease. And if you're into healing stuff, you know, you have energy that you can spend on healing a person instead of directly taxing your own, you know, vital energy. And other things like pyrokinesis and so on. Okay, so first let me tell you that the most important steps to feeling the Dantian, because if you don't follow these directions, you'll be doing it wrong and you're wasting your time. And again, you could be hurting yourself. So first you have to be grounded. You got to be grounded to the ground, the earth, barefoot on the earth outside. If you can't do that, you can buy something like one of these grounding mats, okay? And you can do it indoor, but you're still grounded. The purpose of being grounded is because when you try to feel your Dantian without being grounded, you're not getting the yin qi from the earth to mix with it. So two things happen. One, you're not getting the yin qi. Two, you're not accumulating the yang qi like you think you are. So when you don't have that yin qi there, it doesn't grab that yang qi, and it won't stay in your body circulating together and building up. All you'll be doing is adding yang qi a little bit, overheating your system, and then it's gone, wasted. So you got to be grounded. The second thing is you got to be relaxed. Doing tensing, you know, or forcing breath internally is not relaxed. That's what I mean. Any kind of tension you have is preventing your qi from flowing to your center, to where your mind goes. So relaxation is super important quality. And I don't mean like this kind of relax. I mean internally letting go of tension in your body, so that your mind, wherever your mind goes, energy flows. And wherever there's tension, then there's blockages of energy. So you got to let go of your energy, and you got to be able to relax and let your mind come down. Now, as far as the mind goes, you have to be in a theta state. And when I say theta state, that's a low alpha, or, you know, or just a general theta state, between 8 hertz and 4 hertz. If you're not in this alpha, like low alpha, you know, theta range, you won't be able to do it. If you're in this regular beta range, you're wasting your time. No matter if you even though you feel your mind down there, even if you feel your breath down there, you're wasting your time. Okay? Eventually, you actually want to forget about breathing and just keep the mind in the center. All right? Now, a lot of people will spend hours and hours of meditating, but only get a few minutes of feeling the Dantian done. You literally can sit there for an hour and just get a minute or two of your Dantian filled, because you only will be in that theta state for a minute or two. Most people's minds are too distracted, or you're doing too many processes, like you're focusing on the breathing and breathing this way and that way and feeling these sensations, and all of that is too much of an active mind. Okay? So you got to keep that in mind, that you don't want to have an active mind. Alright? And that's a very difficult thing to achieve. Now, brainwaves can help with that kind of stuff, and they do for me, but they're not for everybody. And I don't recommend brainwaves while you're doing the practices or anything like that, but maybe before you try to go practice, just make it easier for you to slip into the state. Just train your brain to get used to it. But in general, that's the thing. Now, for a lot of you newcomers who don't know where your Dantian is, I'm about to show you. And if you already think you know what it is, you might be wrong. So I'm going to show you guys actually really how the Dantian fills and the ways that the traditional thoughts of filling the Dantian. So before I actually do anything, let me draw a little picture of a head right here and the body. Okay? Now, let's just pretend it's actually side view instead of, that looks kind of like front view. But let's just pretend it's a side view. If this is your belly button right here, you guys have been told it's about 2 inches down and 1 inch in, or about 3 fingers down and 2 deep in. And that assessment is like maybe for a really short Asian guy who's skinny. Okay? Someone who's bigger like me, or even bigger than I am, and thicker, like taller or thicker, it's going to be different for everyone, especially like what your belly size is. That formula does not work. Here's your spine, right? And then here's the small of your back. Now, the easiest way to find your Dantian is to try to draw on energy, breathe in through here, and feel it coming forward towards your belly button. You'll see that, or towards what you would think your center is actually more like the hip line, okay? So you feel it coming, and you'll feel like it's right there. And it's like really in between the front and the spine, more closer to the spine. But the truth is that's where your mind wants to get to. But the Dantian itself will fill the whole pelvic floor, the whole pelvic area. This whole area is like a seat. It will hold that energy. Okay, it's not just that one little spot. Okay, and here's where different schools contradict each other. Let me check my timing real quick. I got one of these really old phones. Okay, we got some time still. So I'm still on an S4. Well, everyone's got like S10 or something now. So that's a good way to find it. And using breathing is a good way to find where the Dantian is, because it helps you move your awareness and explore. But once you find it, you don't want to use your breathing as the main source of filling your Dantian. You just want to learn to feel your Dantian through breathing. And because if you're doing breathing again purposefully, your mind can't get into that theta state, and you definitely aren't relaxed. And your mind will have to do these calculations, and it's looking, and it's like trying to measure the pressure. Don't pressure too hard, but put it in there and keep it in there, and don't let it slip out, and all this kind of stuff. And if you're not noticing it, it will fly up, or oh, shit's flying up, and I do. So all these kind of weird mishaps can happen if you're not doing it wrong. In the beginning, it's okay to ignore those things if you're just trying to find it. But once you find it, you got to learn to forget the breathing and just keep the mind in the center. Okay. With that being said, let's talk about the different theories they have. First of all, the theories you guys are used to are going to be one of two things. Okay? It's going to be fill in the Dantian, compress the Dantian, send it down to the yang to create this yin-yang merging, or what you want to call it, the going up to the central channel system. Okay? And enlivening the brain, and it's basically opening the system up and getting it out to go out the arms and legs by learning how to move the chi. Again, which would use breath and all that kind of stuff to learn how to do. And I can talk about that in another video, how to move your Dantian chi. But with that being said, that's one way. Okay, the other way is just keep filling the Dantian, because it will naturally, eventually, when it fills in, like it'll become as big as this circle, and it'll start going, to your coccyx and coming back up and circulating to the top of your head and creating this microcosmic orbit, thus opening the central channel as well. So both of them have that way of doing it. It's just that one wants to force it to happen quickly, okay? The other one wants to let it happen gradually, but ultimately they're both trying to get so much chi that they explode and open up all the channels. And that's why this is a very crude and old school and can be dangerous system. Now, more advanced, high-level systems out there, see, like me personally, I believe I see the whole body as a Dantian. So I actually stopped working on my Dantian, a while ago. Unless once in a while, for certain reasons and occasions, I'll work with it. But because there's a lot of applications to it, okay. But in general, like the more advanced, higher levels, they see the whole body needs to just be opened up through things like stretching, getting all the channels to open, and absorbing the energy like that through the environment. Your whole entire body can absorb energy. Your bones can breathe in and all this kind of stuff, and you can pack your bones with energy and everything like that. So, like, those are the main things. they're trying to fill in until they explode and open up all the channels. While you can just directly on a higher level just go and open all the channels on some level. It's harder to do. You need a good practice for that, and you need to be able to spend a lot of time. It also takes a lot of time. There's a lot of stretching, a lot of standing postures, and stuff like that. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope that helps. And if you find this useful, please don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And check out the description below for all the cool links that I sent you guys to my own personal websites, and also the energy system that I got 10 years ago that taught me how to do telekinesis and a couple other esoteric stuff, and the brainwaves that I use regularly. Because I really recommend that system and the brainwaves to you guys. And also, if you guys are more interested in the martial arts stuff or opening the third eye, you can check out my Black Dragon Ego and Spiritual Methods.com, and don't forget energycultivation.com if you want to meet other people like yourself. There's a forum, free forums, and blog. You guys can just meet other people and chat up. They have a profile section. You can actually add friends and everything. It's all free there on that side too. So hope that helps. Good luck, be safe, and have a great day. And don't forget to send me your questions. Take care, you guys.